Good morning everyone and welcome to the Wyndham City Idahobit Day. Congratulations, happy Idahobit Pride everyone. My name is Jamie and I'm going to be the host for your Idahobit celebration today. It's looking a bit shady outside today. It's sunny at the moment but it might rain, so I'm prepared. I have my trusty umbrella, I have my car keys and I'm good to go. Alright.
Happy Idahobit? Alright. See you soon, everyone.
Good morning everybody and welcome to Wyndham City's Idahobit Day. I made it here to the Wyndham Cultural Centre, as you can see. I probably don't need the umbrella. So sadly today we're not together, but that's okay. We are living our best ISO lives. Those that don't know me, I'm Jamie Smith and I'm the coordinator for the cultural venues team here at Wyndham City. Our guest speakers today will talk to you about the significance of Idahobit Day and why it is so incredibly important to us. But today I'd like to talk to you about why it's important to me. The theme of breaking the silence is really important to me. I came out late in life and I struggled because it was like having a second identity that I needed to learn who to become, how to be the new version of me. But I broke the silence. For me, breaking the silence means talking about the bad things, talking about the hard things, talking about the fabulous things. Today we have a lineup of guest speakers for you who come to us with their stories, their inspiration and their wisdom. It is my great pleasure to throw over to our Mayor, Councillor Josh Gilligan. Josh, over to you.
Today is Idahobit Day, which is the International Day against Homophobia, Biphobia, Interphobia and Transphobia. This year we are celebrating this important day in a very different way, due in large part to COVID-19 and the social distancing regulations. Idahobit Day is an opportunity to show our support for our local LGBTIQ community by raising awareness and encouraging diversity and inclusion. 30 years ago, on May 17, 1990, the World Health Organization removed the classification of homosexuality as a mental disorder. And then an international day was established against homophobia in 2004 to draw attention to the violence and discrimination that LGBTIQ communities faced and sadly continue to experience far too often around the globe. This day is now celebrated in over 130 countries. Here in Australia, even with the legalisation of same-sex marriage 2 years ago, there is still prejudice and stigma. So yes, we've come a long way, but there is still a way to go to eradicate discrimination. Discrimination against anyone based on their gender or sexuality is never okay, and we all need to call it out. We must all work together towards creating a tolerant and respectful society where diversity is celebrated and valued, not just tolerated or accepted. Today, let's reflect and think about how we can break the silence by having conversations that advocate for inclusion, that celebrate sexual diversity and gender freedom. Thank you for joining us online today to celebrate Idahobit Day.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you for those words. Next up, we are going to hear from our fearless leader, our CEO, Kelly Grigsby. Kelly, over to you.
International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia, Interphobia and Transphobia, Idahobit, is a very significant day where we stand hand in hand with our LGBTIQ community and celebrate diversity and inclusion. This year's Idahobit theme is Breaking the Silence, which is a call to work together to start conversations that pave the way for people to live free from fear. This aligns strongly with my own vision for Wyndham to create a city that is welcoming, inclusive and harmonious for all residents, regardless of their age, gender, sexuality, cultural background or socioeconomic status. All of us, whatever our gender or sexual orientation, can work together to make our world a better place for LGBTIQ people by creating and supporting a safe and supportive environment. We're building inclusion is a responsibility we all share. Whilst we mark the day in a very different way this year due to social distancing restrictions, I urge you to join me in supporting our LGBTI community to advocate and celebrate sexual diversity and gender freedom. Let's come together virtually, celebrate today and proudly support our LGBTIQ community and work together towards breaking the silence.
Thanks, Kelly. Thank you for that message. And yes, it's incredibly important that we create a city that's welcoming and inclusive of everybody, that we stand with pride. Now, our next guest speaker has been advocating and working hard for a very, very, very long time in Victoria. We have Sally Goldman from Transgender Victoria. Sally is an amazing person who has the biggest heart and works tirelessly for inclusion in our community. I'm very proud to throw over to Sally.
Hi everyone, happy Idahobit Day. I'm Sally Goldman. My pronouns are she, her, and I acknowledge very, very much that I am coming to you from the lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and acknowledge that Wyndham meets on the lands of the Wathaurong, Woiwurrung and Bunurong people, and acknowledge all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, past, present and emerging, watching and or hearing this video today. Happy Idahobit Day again. Wow. I wish it could be as happy as we would like. It is a great day of joy for people in relation to sexual orientation and gender identity and other aspects of life as well. The thing is, we value all of us. And the theme this year is breaking the silence. And that is really, really important. Breaking the silence and also breaking invisibility if we're looking at various sensory modes. It's unfortunate, but understandable that we can't break the lack of touch at the moment. It's really more important than ever in these times of COVID-19. We cannot ignore the elephant in the room, or if I can be diverse, in Canada, the equivalent saying is the moose on the table, that we make sure that equity and equality and diversity and inclusion are valued and achieved more than ever. In times of crisis, it is often those who are less fortunate, who face more marginalisation, who one could say might be further down the hierarchy of privilege, that may be left behind. And it is therefore important that they are truly visible and truly heard and truly validated. I acknowledge the privilege that I have as a white, I will say perceived middle-class person, Anglo-Saxon and many other things. I acknowledge that LGBTIQA+ people of colour may often feel, and often are, not heard, not seen, not included. So on this Idahobit Day, to make this celebration truly inclusive, let us keep trying to bring everyone along. Let us remember everyone. Let us be allies to those intersections that we do not identify with ourselves. And let us ensure all of our rainbow communities are included. TGV is proud to be doing that work. And on this Idahobit Day, we are proud of the training that we do, and at times that has very much included City of Wyndham, particularly with library staff. But in that spirit of inclusion, I do want to mention on behalf of Bisexual Alliance Victoria, the Bi5 project, which will look specifically at bi inclusion. At times, even trans and bi people haven't been equally included in our communities, and it is time that we raise that level of equality as well. I don't want to say that people with intersex variations are included if they wish to be included in this day. It is up to them. But I very much acknowledge that our intersex family, if I may use that term, are left further behind so much in our training work. And I acknowledge very, very much the pain that intersex people have felt and continue to feel through lack of recognition, in particular, the issue of unnecessary surgical interventions at birth. Finally, I want to acknowledge that supportive allies, including supportive family members, are also important, and a reminder that trans family exists as one of many groups around Australia for our community. Acknowledging all of that and saying that we are all together, and also acknowledging Transgender Victoria's peer support project, which will be vital in this time, a major tool, a major path in how we can break the silence and be heard, how we can break the invisibility and be seen. And I look forward to the time where we can all get together and safely and appropriately and consensually touch each other in a rainbow hug. Happy Idahobit Day, everyone.
Thanks, Sally. Thank you for those words. Not only is Sally courageous and shows that power in all of the work that she does on a daily basis, Sally was a co-founder of Transgender Victoria over 20 years ago, and they are celebrating that milestone this year. So there is no wonder that Sally was awarded an Order of Australia in 2019 to recognise her tireless work, her support and her courage in the sector. Next, we're throwing over to Alexander Dalton. Alexander is a 17-year-old advocate for LGBT rights, mental health awareness, is a public speaker on both those topics. Alex is the youngest member of the Headspace Youth Advocacy Group here in the West and attends our very own Q group here in Wyndham Youth Services. Alexander aims to raise awareness around these topics, but most importantly, Alexander is here today to share his very own story.
Hi, my name is Alexander Dalton. I'm a 17-year-old transgender man, as well as a mental health and LGBTQ+ rights advocate. Today, May 17th, marks 30 years since the World Health Organization removed homosexuality from its list of mental health disorders. Today is a day that we draw our attention to the discrimination experienced by the LGBTQ+ community. Today is the International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia, Intersexism and Transphobia, or Idahobit. The theme this year is Breaking the Silence, and I think that's really fitting considering how far our community has come in the last few years. We've fought for our rights. We've legalised same-sex marriage, and the birth certificate reform came into effect just over 2 weeks ago in Victoria. We've been fighting for equality, and we're starting to see our victories. We've got a long way to go, but we've come so far too. I've come so far. My family converted old VHS tapes to video files not long ago, and there's about 6 hours of footage of me below the age of 2. I don't know when I'll fully be able to appreciate who I was before I transitioned, but she was a cute kid, and I'm grateful for all the experiences she's given me, even if they're not all good. They made me who I am. I break the silence of who I am every time I come out, every time I give a speech. I tell people that I'm different and similar to them at the same time. I break the silence surrounding the LGBTQ+, and more specifically, the trans community, every time I speak out about it, and I hope I do them justice. So, if you're looking to celebrate, have a conversation with someone about how you can be a better ally for the LGBTQ+ community, or how you can better support someone you know within the community. Happy Idahobit.
Thank you, Alex. What an amazing story and what an amazing young man. Thank you for sharing that with us today. All right, we have now come to the most important part of the day, and that is our flag raising. As we know, we can't be together today for that. We are social distancing, and we are doing our best to keep Rona at bay. As we know, Idahobit is only one day, and all of this work needs to happen every other day of the year. It's a strong commitment to each other, and it's important that we continue this work daily. So, just because we can't be together doesn't mean that our strength isn't there. Our advocacy work still matters, what we do in the community still matters, and what Wyndham City as an organisation does still matters. We are stronger together, and we are definitely better together. During the week when you drive past, have a look, the flag is there, and as we've heard today from both the Mayor and our CEO, we are here to make Wyndham the best place possible for us to live and call home. Thank you to our guest speakers. Thank you for your words, thank you for your experiences, and thank you for sharing. Remember, breaking the silence is important, so if you need help or you know someone who does need help, please contact the numbers and the services that are on screen now. I'm heading off. I'm going to a friend's house for a rainbow cake, but Rona, you do not rain on my parade.